Welcome to Marble Mind. Here we forge an unshakable spirit in the fire of ancient wisdom. Today we look into the shadows of isolation to discover why solitude is your ultimate forge and how to become an army of one. Listen closely. Most men fear being alone. They run from silence as if it were a predator. They drown their solitude in the noise of crowds, the glow of screens, and the hollow validation of others. Why? Because in the stillness, the mask falls off. In the solitude, they are forced to look at the man in the glass, and they find him lacking. They are not a fortress, they are a ruin. But the Stoic? The Stoic seeks the desert of the soul. He knows that true power is not found in the cheers of the masses, but in the quiet discipline of a man who can stand entirely alone and not flinch. To be an army of one is to be your own commander, your own soldier, and your own judge. It is to reach a state where you are no longer a slave to social approval or the warmth of the herd. Before we enter this temple of isolation, I have a task for you. If you have ever felt the strength that comes from being alone, or if you are ready to stop fearing your own company, write in the comments, "Solitary strength." Let this be your signal to the world that you no longer need their permission to exist. This is the first step in building your internal empire. Imagine a single towering oak tree in the middle of a vast, empty plain. It has no brothers to shield it from the wind. It has no forest to break the storm. Yet, its roots go deeper than any tree in the woods. It is hardened by every gale. It is tempered by every frost. It stands alone, and because it is alone, it is magnificent. Today, we will learn how Marcus Aurelius found solitude in the middle of a crowded palace. We will see how Seneca embraced exile as a laboratory for the spirit. We will build your inner citadel, stone by stone, until you are no longer afraid of the dark. If you seek the comfort of the crowd, this is not for you. But if you are ready to become the master of your own solitude, stay. We are about to begin. The greatest tragedy of modern man is that he can no longer sit quietly in a room by himself. We have become addicts of presence. We need the hum of others to convince ourselves that we are alive. The ancient Stoics recognized this as a profound weakness. If your happiness depends on the presence of others, you have given them the keys to your prison cell. You are at the mercy of their whims, their moods, and their departures. To the Stoic, this is a form of spiritual beggary. You are wandering the streets, cup in hand, begging for a crumb of attention to fill the hole in your chest. Seneca wrote, "The primary indication of a well-ordered mind is a man's ability to stay in one place and linger in his own company." Look at your life. Can you spend a Friday night without a screen, without a drink, and without a voice? If the answer is no, you are not free. You are a fugitive, running from the only person you can never truly escape, yourself. Solitude is a mirror that does not lie. In the crowd, you can hide behind a persona. You can play the role of the successful professional, the funny friend, the loyal partner. But when the lights go out and the voices fade, the persona vanishes. You are left with the raw materials of your character. For most, this is terrifying. They see the cracks, they see the laziness, they see the lack of purpose, and so they run back to the noise. Being an army of one starts with the courage to face this void. You must realize that solitude is not lack. It is not the absence of others. It is the presence of self. It is the moment when you stop being a social animal and start being a rational being. Think of the training of a gladiator. He may fight in a crowded arena, but he trains in the cold, silent hours of the dawn. He eats alone. He bleeds alone. He prepares his mind for the moment when no one can help him. You are that gladiator. Every moment of solitude you endure and master is a repetition in the gym of the soul. Practical advice for the initiate. Start small. Seek micro-solitude. Spend 15 minutes a day in a room with no distractions, no phone, no music, just you and the walls. Watch the panic rise. Watch the boredom scream. And do not move. Sit there like a statue. You are teaching your brain that the void cannot kill you. You are proving that you are the master of the space you occupy. This is the first layer of your armor. The more comfortable you become in the silence, the less power the world has over you. You are beginning to build the foundation of a man who can stand alone against 1,000 and remain unmoved. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on earth, lived his life surrounded by thousands, advisors, generals, servants, and sycophants. And yet, he was one of the loneliest men in history. He knew that the throne is the most isolated place in the world. His solution was not to seek more friends, but to build what he called the inner citadel. An army of one does not need external walls. He builds them within his mind. This is the art of objective judgment. The Stoic trains himself to see things exactly as they are, without the coloring of human emotion or the distortion of public opinion. When you are alone, you have the clarity to inspect your own fortifications. You can see where your discipline is crumbling and where your fears are leaking in. Think of your mind as a fortress under siege. The enemy is not people, but impressions. The thoughts that tell you that you are lonely, that you are failing, or that you need someone to save you. In the silence of solitude, you can intercept these enemies at the gate. You look at a thought of loneliness and you say, you are just an impression, not the thing you represent. You strip it naked, and you realize it has no power